so much time with him, almost it's like, for me, it's like when you spend so much time with somebody, you almost get used to having them. So it's not that you actually want them. It's the fact that you're so used to having them. And now when they shift their position, it's almost like I need to regain that back. Now, part of that is manipulative because you just want to be able to, of course, have the attention you want to have. But I think it does speak of something about her. Like there's something going on with her that is going beyond just what we're seeing with just her not liking him as well. Do you know what I mean? That being said, I mean, Shaq's a little bit sussy for me too. I ain't gonna lie to you, but not on this episode per se. But there's something not quite right with Shaq too. There's something not right there. And I'll say this my final point. I said this last week. Kirsten last week alluded to it, right? About, I think, what she sees in him. When she was talking about the plants, she said, all right then, Missy. And I said, wait, when you say that, you know exactly why you're saying that, because that's how you see him. It's giving Karen and Miles all over again. I said, okay, sis is looking at him as a sis. She's not stimulated at all. Nothing's going on down there. The coochie's dry, bro. It's dry. It's dry. But I'm gonna say this last point. I said that last time, but because Sean was here now, that's what I want to say the last point. I actually agree with Sean. I think he fluffed the bag. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he fluffed the bag. I think he could have got somewhere last week. There could have been some pennies, but he fluffed it up. I'm telling you, I think he could have. I think he could have got a little something, but he fluffed it up. But anyway, that's just my personal opinions. Hey, Kirsten, if you're out there, shout me, Little Blackbird Cocaine 91, all right? Coaching free. Go for it. Trey was going to say something first. Sorry, Trey was going to say, he opened his mic first.
Oh, I was just going to say real quick. I'm surprised. I'm surprised at you, Coach. You haven't brought this up yet. This is funny. This is a prime example right here. We're looking at it live. A prime example of the same type of situation that Seaway brought up Saturday night. We talked about it Sunday. We talked about it Tuesday. This is what it looks like.
That's true.
When a man is more into his woman or his wife more than she is into him. This is the type of abuse I was talking about. It's too unequal. It's too unequal. This is what will happen. Just saying. Prime example.
And even I ain't mad that only you were open your mic before, and then Crystal and Sean.
I hear what you're saying. The issue, we talk about men leading when it comes to relationships. Shaq is doing everything that he wants to do, but I don't think he's misreading the situation. What are the things that Kristen wants to do? The only times I've seen Crystal like super excited is when she was in Jamaica dancing during the honeymoon, and even now when she was skating. And you can see that these activities are things that she can do like by herself versus like in a couple with somebody else. Like I understand her being in a relationship with she doesn't have the skills per se to have that right now. Doesn't like to be around Shaq unless the cameras are on. She's given us way too many different signals at the same time. If Shaq is trying to seal the deal with Kristen, Shaq needs to do the things that Kristen wants to do in order to seal the deal. You don't try to do the things that you want to do and her just be off put. You find what she wants to do and you try to lead into that. So you're trying to take her into your world. It's not working. You got to move yourself into her world. That's where Shaq is missing the point. If anything, he's putting in effort though, but just maybe misdirected or not in the right place. I don't know if that's not sealing the deal, but this girl likes him, but doesn't want to admit to it. I'm doubling down on it now.
I just want to co-sign really quickly on a little bit on what you were saying about the emotional blockage. I definitely agree with you to a certain extent. Not, but you talked about the apartment and the closet, but even that apartment, how it was sparse. She doesn't want to have an emotional attachment to pictures, to anything. It almost like she doesn't want to make a decision. It's almost so it was so bare that she doesn't want to have an emotional attachment. She doesn't want to make a decision on anything. So that house is so bare. That speaks to her as well. That speaks to her lack of wanting to have something tangible that she can have on the wall that she can look at. That speaks to it as well. That emotional blockage that she doesn't want to have anything that that she can actually care about to an extent. I definitely think there's something that apartment says a lot. The closet as well, but that apartment, how sparse it was, says a lot about what's going on. Yeah, that's all I was gonna say. Yeah, but I also, that's not Shaq's fault. And so I almost think that that's another reason why she came on the show, is because she didn't want to make a decision anymore. You know, she's been had a bad picker, her picker's off. Let somebody else make the decision. That's it.
Absolutely. Go for it, Sean.
My caption says it all. I told y'all so. Nicole slid the note under the door that said, all you need to do, and I don't get no sneak previews of the maths episode. And I just want you to go to the receipts, rewind the tape. She said all he needed to do was throw on some R&B tunes and get to work. Now, y'all can say she's capping if you want to, but she done told old girl what she got to cap for her off camera behind the scenes for. He's doing too much. You have to know when to hold them and when to fold them, okay? And look, I'm not saying she was gonna, make it, they're gonna be together forever, but he had a window of opportunity. And sometimes when you have a window of opportunity, you got to strike while the iron is hot. She brought out that, the little pedicure set. And even remember this episode, she said to him, she said, so you're not thinking past decision day? She was like, so she's seeming like she wants more. Now, is that all of her? I don't know. But I'm telling you, there's a part of her that is considering it. Because like y'all told us, she's growing. Her attraction grew a little bit, So she's ready for him to move, just kind of get over it because it grew. So y'all told us, y'all proved us wrong, right? Her attraction grew and he had a little tiny window. But what did he have to do? Start nitpicking about plants. Started going back and forth about what you didn't do and what I didn't do. Dried her up just like the Sahara. She wants him to come to work and come home from work and talk to her. Look, I'll come home to you, baby. I'll rub your feet. I'll draw your bath. And let's go. And let's see what it's going to be. Because if it's going to be capped, then I'm going to call you out. But it ain't going to be without me trying first. I ain't going to leave here with something. And that's all I'm saying. Sometimes you got to know when to just shh. If she's giving you that eye, she gave him that eye. I'm sorry. She give you that little eye, that little window. You just got to shh and pivot. Shh, pivot. And his pivot game is off. And I land my plane.
Yo, hey, Sean be killing me. Yo, Sean be killing me, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't see it. I didn't see it last week. I didn't see it all the way last week. But then this week came out, and then we see the next week's previews. I said there was a chance at least, even if it's just a little chance to. I said, and I started looking back at the clips. I was like, he be talking too quickly. He asked her a question and she gets like a 5-second pause, and then he hits her with another question. I'm like, sir, you can't get into the practice. Just quiet. But I'm being facetious, obviously. But I do feel there's a chance. I'm not. Listen, by the way, I personally would have been gone long time. You understand? Me personally, I would have been gone. I already told you my rules. I don't break down walls. Okay, so me and Kirsten would have. If I would have seen the energy from early and be like, yeah, I got to go. I don't break down walls. But since you're here for 8 weeks and you ain't got nothing else but a choice, you had breaking walls, sir. You got to leave here with something. Okay, I think you could have taken. I'm just saying that I think when I've watched those moments, and again, I've called her out as well this episode, but I'm saying like when I've watched some of the intimate moments where it's like you want her to open up about something, right? He just he just does something that I tell people just to hold off a little bit on. This is not just a Shaq thing, it's everybody. When you ask someone a question and they are struggling already to open up with you, you jumping in early is not helping the situation. It doesn't solve your issue. You know what I mean?